Thank you, thank you. So a little bit of a brief introduction. Like Michael said, I kind of got famous for a short while by making this short film, 405. Prior to that, I had been in the visual effects industry for about 5 years at that point, making visual effects for shows like Star Trek and X-Files. And then after 405 was released, started my own company, visual effects boutique, primarily do feature film work and episodic television called Screaming Death Monkey, SDM. And yeah, thanks. But really, what brought me into visual effects was my passion for filmmaking. I studied film in school. Like probably everyone here, I grew up with cameras and dad's computers and kind of stealing things to make my friends laugh. And I've been fortunate enough to have opportunities to direct music videos, some commercials and things, but I hadn't done another short film since 405. And one of the reasons was 405 was so astoundingly successful that I just felt I could never approach having as much fun as I did with that. And then I found Smoke, which is kind of a weird segue, I know, but when Smoke 2013 was announced, I downloaded it and started playing with it, cut a new demo reel, and just really loved it. And I tweeted, so get on Twitter, you can get jobs. I tweeted that I liked it, and Mark Hamaker from Autodesk messaged me within an hour of me putting that tweet on and said, we should talk. They were looking for someone to create a video that would highlight what Smoke can do. And they basically gave me carte blanche to do whatever I wanted. And so we wrote a script, went out and filmed it, and spent the last few months getting it all done in Smoke. And so I'm going to show it to you now. It's called Fix It in Post.
This isn't working.
I was wrong.
I can't do this anymore. You walked out. You left me.
Don't go.
I can't do this anymore. You walked out. You left me.
I was wrong?
Thank God you're here. What took you so long?
What are you doing here?
Stop wasting time. Do you think you can disarm it? Careful! You might set it off.
What are you talking about? Just a green button.
Do you think you can disarm it? Where are you going? You can't just leave me here.
Cut. So that wasn't bad for a first take. Ready for another?
Can't we just fix it in post?
Thank you. So yeah, that was my little film. I just wanted to briefly talk about Smoke, since that's kind of what, you know, was the impetus for this whole thing, and why I really like it. Not to sound too much like I'm hawking software here, because I'm really not. I like tools that work, and I'm always looking for something that makes my life easier. Like most of you guys, I was using Final Cut Pro and Premiere, and just got tired of round tripping and all the headaches that were happening. So I was really intrigued by what Autodesk has done with Smoke, and how they integrated Connect Effects, which is a node-based compositing system, into an editorial system. It really kind of changed the way I work. It was the way I always wanted to work, and there was not a piece of software that really kind of did it the way I wanted. This is the first one that that I think kind of works the way I work. It is version 1. They just released, I think, a build that fixes about half of the things that I hated about it. So hopefully the next one will fix the other half. But I would encourage you all to check it out if you haven't already. I think you can still get a demo for 30 days or something. But it's really great. And they keep talking about the power of the editing, which is obviously very powerful. But for me, from a visual effects standpoint, the Connect Effects is phenomenal. It's really kind of amazing. So I encourage you all to check it out. Thanks for watching my film. I think we have a few minutes if anyone has any questions or anything like that. Yeah, right there.
Repeat the question.
He asked if we were using anything other than Smoke, like After Effects or anything, and the answer is no. The only other pieces of software that we used for this was Photoshop for a couple matte paintings, and I think we used Synthesize for some 3D tracking. But other than that, editorially, everything happened in Smoke. All the visual effects compositing was in Smoke, and we did all the sound design and mix and everything in Smoke, which I didn't
even know they can do that.
yeah, it's got a 32-track real-time editor, and it's pretty powerful. I mean, it you know, obviously, I think Pro Tools or something could do as good of a better job, but for me, as a filmmaker, being able to keep everything in one package, being able to jump in and out and share files was pretty powerful. Yeah, over there. You can. Smoke can import XMLs out of Final Cut. It can also import Avid files the same way. It's pretty seamless. Yeah, and then you can do all the work in Smoke. So you can, you know, if you want to use Smoke just as a compositing tool, you can do that pretty easily. Yeah, and then you just export it back. Yeah, right there.
Which of your night shots were actually shot at night? Or most of them, or?
Yeah, the first day for Night Transition, that transition was shot over 3 different days for the different elements. But most of the night stuff was filmed at night. The alleyway where he actually jumps from day to night, that scene is a combination of day, night, and day for night, color corrected. Yeah?
Would you actually use Smoke if you had a project to do the offline edits? Is it robust enough where you feel comfortable doing a proper narrative edit?
Yeah, the question.
Repeat that question.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was repeating questions. The question was, would I feel comfortable doing an offline edit in Smoke? For me personally, yes. I'm not an editor, though. The work that I do editorially is primarily my own work, projects that I direct, and then projects that are in-house. So for me, it's perfect. But I would argue that yeah, you could do an offline in Smoke.
Did you edit this, or did you have somebody else edit it?
I edited it as well as a really talented guy named Wayne Shepard.
Okay, because the editing portion of Smoke is pretty much version 1.0.
It is. And there are some quirks.
Yeah.
It works. Wayne, who also edited sequences of this, is primarily a Final Cut editor. And every day at the office, it would seem like he'd be, you know, I hate Smoke. He's ready to quit and throw it. And then he comes like, oh, I love Smoke. It's so good. Because he would figure out how it did what he wanted it to do. So yeah, it is version 1. Actually, it's now version 1.2, I guess. So it has made some strides already.
But just to let you know, it does do JKL. So.
Which is annoying. I wish I could actually turn that off. What kind of cameras did we use? We used Red Epic for most of everything. A lot of the car chase stuff was shot with D600 and 5D Mark IIs. And then there's one shot that was GoPro HD Hero 3. Yeah.
What was the codec you edited in mostly?
The codec that we edited in was we transcoded everything from Red to Final Cut or to ProRes 4x4s.
4x4s.
Yeah.
And you left it that way?
Yeah. We did a transfer full debayer just because if the information's there, I like it. The nice thing about shooting with the Epic was there's probably 3 or 4 shots where we actually had to recompose and push into the image, so we were able to do a center extract and having that additional data. One of the nice things that Smoke does as well, like Premiere Pro and whatnot, you know, you can deal with the red files natively. So you can bring the red files in, you can edit with them if your system's fast enough, you can change debarring on a shot-by-shot basis, so you're not locked into your choices, which is really nice. Yeah, back there?
I've heard some people are experiencing a bit of a lag on the JKL that you'll hit play and it'll hold for a moment. Are you experiencing that?
I have. We determined it was primarily due to RAID speed, like anything. You know, the faster of a RAID you have, the less lag you'll have. For us, you know, once we got our systems configured correctly, didn't have a problem at all. Anyone else? Yeah. Yeah, his question was how long did production and post take? We shot the last weekend of November, and we delivered it the second weekend of February. So the shoot was 4 days with a day of pickups, and the rest was editorial and visual effects. Yeah.
The NAV, they primarily showed Smoke running on iMac.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys use?
We used a variety of systems, actually. We demoed a brand new 27-inch iMac. I'm sorry, the question was what systems did we use to do this? Autodesk has been demoing everything with iMacs running Thunderbolt RAIDs. In-house, we had 4 Mac Pros, older Mac Pros. We found that 2 of the older Mac Pros, around circa 2007, yes, I'm still using 5-year-old technology, just couldn't hang, the video cards. It was mostly because of the graphics cards. But the newer Mac Pros, we upgraded to GTX 580s, 570s, and that changed everything. That made Smoke run perfectly. At the time, I called in a favor at Apple, and we demoed a 27-inch iMac running Thunderbolt RAIDs, and it was great. It worked fine. It was perfect, really. The only reason we didn't end up keeping that system was because we found that, you know, our older Macs were actually, once you put in a new graphics card, were actually a lot faster than the newer iMacs. So, but the Thunderbolt is nice. Yeah. Just the GTX. The question was, did we do any testing with the Quadros? No. I can't speak to how well the Quadros run with Smoke.
Just so you know, at Super Meets and other places that we've had demonstrations of Smoke, they do it off of a laptop.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm running this off of an 11-inch iMac, and I wouldn't recommend this, but I've actually run Smoke off of this machine, and it
Yeah, we've had a demo of Smoke
really well
on the air. I wouldn't recommend it either, but
But you know what? When I'm on set and a director doesn't think that what I'm telling him is going to work, and I can sit down and do a quick comp, that makes all the difference in the world.
We have time for one more question.
The question was, you know, or not a question, a statement, that it's expensive. For me, it's super cheap. You know, if you look at comparable systems, comparable pieces of software, I've used for 15 years Fusion by Ion. That's $6,000. It can't do editorial. You know, you tag on another $1,000 for editorial. For me, in a production environment, it makes a lot of sense because, you know, we're looking for systems that replace things like a flame. And for us, this absolutely does. So it makes a lot of sense financially for us. I can see how, you know, it might not for other people. Yeah. He said the Quadros aren't holding up to the GTX. Everything I've read and people that I know that have tested both systems say the same thing. So your miles may vary.
We have to move along, so please thank Jeremy for driving all the way up here.